Hi, I'm Justin. This is Library Chess Productions, and if you've been hiding under a rock and you don't understand what this is, Tyler and I really like movies. So obviously a big part of this channel is going to be talking about movies, and we've already been doing it with our top fives, but more specifically, it's reviewing movies. We both like to fancy ourselves critics, and we love doing movie reviews. And since we love it, why not do it as frequently as possible? So this is going to be a pretty frequent thing on this channel. Some quicker videos, some like 5-10 minute movie reviews, stuff like that. But first, what's important before we actually get a review out there, we got to talk about our scoring system here a little bit. We kind of came to the consensus that while a numerical grading system or scoring system for a movie, like this is a 3 out of 5 or this is a 7.5 out of 10, those are very satisfying and a lot of people use them, but we kind of want to separate ourselves a little bit and do something at least a little bit different. So without further ado, you know that we're going to be doing movie reviews. Here's how we're going to score movies. Going to move myself over to the side here a little bit to introduce the Library Chess Productions scoring system. And why not start at the top? The best of the best movies. We quote them on the daily. Or I guess more specifically, I quote them on the daily because most of the time we'll be doing these movie reviews by ourselves. And this is really just an ongoing joke with Tyler. It's been his joke for the longest time, and we had to find a way to honor that in our movie reviews. So these are the creme de la creme. These are the best of the best movies that we're going to review in and out, week in, week out, day in, day out. These are the best movies that we come across, and we quote them on the daily. Next step down, we give it the business. This is a nice way of saying we paid for this movie, or we would pay to see this movie, and we would maybe even pay to see this movie again. We give this movie the business. But we might not quote it on the daily. Clear as mud, right? And we've got our middle of the pack. And this is kind of our middle ground. These are movies that are fine. They're okay. They're probably pretty good for the audience that they're targeting, even if that audience isn't us. And I mean, can vary. I mean, can be or can be So our middle ground is live with it. Next one down, we're getting deeper into the dumpster. This is maybe I'd watch this movie, maybe if it was free, which is basically our way of saying sometimes you get movies for free, but maybe watch this movie if it's free, but even then, you know. And in general, we can't justify giving that movie even the longest and most dreary of And finally, we hit what will inarguably be our most popular reviews, our worst ones, and this is just Shudder. For a little background information, Shudder, I think, is probably our consensus among the worst movies ever made, if not the worst, although Tyler would certainly make a case for a movie where an elephant gets electrocuted, I believe, and that's just the whole movie. So Shudder is one of those like top tier of terrible movies, but it's not so bad it's good. It's just a terrible, awful, irredeemable movie, and that's the bottom of our scale. So there you go, folks. There's movie reviews on the channel in a nutshell. About a 5 to 10 minute review, and then we're going to grade it on our scale of I quote it on the daily, I give it the business, maybe if it's free, or this is just Shudder. And on that last one, maybe we'll occasionally slip in other really bad movies, you know, to give them their time in the sun. So there we go. That's how we're going to grade our movies. Now let the reviews begin.